Good morning, I'm Maddie Jansen, and this is the podcast of 17 News at Sunrise. It's everything you need to know to start your day in about 15 minutes.
In the spirit of the Golden Empire, this is 17 News at Sunrise.
Good morning. A GOP representative in Congress is out. He says he's leaving the Republican Party. What made him do it? Coming up.
It's been 1 year since Corey Powers was shot and killed while fixing his car on the side of the road in broad daylight. On this somber anniversary, his family is searching for answers and talking about what they've learned from police so far.
And the rocket's red glare will be lighting up the night sky, but to be sure that you're celebrating safely, we've got all of your local regulations and details on community parties if you want someone else to put on the big show. This is Thursday, July 4th, 2019. Good morning. Great to have you with us. I'm Maddie Jansen alongside Alex Fisher and Kevin Shred. Happy 4th of July.
Yeah, and I know a lot of people are excited for the holiday. I know some festivities in my neighborhood got started yesterday afternoon.
I've been very lucky. The festivities haven't started in my neighborhood just yet, but I'm sure that will all happen tonight, and I'm prepared for a long night ahead of celebrations with my pups. And on the weather front, it's going to be a nice day. We're not looking at any triple digits. In fact, we pulled back on the triple digits the next 7 days, so that's a good thing as well. Let's talk about yesterday. Look at the high, 92 degrees. Really nice. The record yesterday was 111, and that was set back in 1942. Let's talk about our temperature right now, and 69 degrees. A calm wind out there, just a light breeze expected throughout the day. And as we take a look at the hour by hour, we're going to start out right near 69, 85 at noon, and by 3 o'clock we'll be at 92. And then we take a look at the mountains, and currently 57. We do have a westerly wind at 13 right now, and as we look throughout the day, starting out in the 50s, 70s this afternoon, by 3 o'clock, that northwest wind at 14.
We begin this morning with breaking news from Capitol Hill. Michigan Representative Justin Outage has announced he's leaving the GOP after growing, quote, disenchanted and frightened by party politics. Outage wrote in an op-ed for the Washington Post that he would remain in Congress as an independent. His conclusion came after he read special counsel Robert Mueller's redacted report on Russian interference in the 2016 election, which he then tweeted about in a widely circulated thread. Well, we want to bring you a message about our programming this morning. If you know someone with DirecTV or AT&T Uverse, they may not be getting our channel this morning. That's because an agreement has not been reached between our parent company Nexstar and AT&T. You're urged to contact 1-800-288-2020 and urge your provider not to drop KGET programming, which includes local news like this and shows like Sunday Night Football, This Is Us, and The Voice.
The power is back on for thousands of PG&E customers in Northwest Bakersfield. That's according to PG&E. The power outage crews. The outage started around 11 o'clock last night and impacted some 5,200 customers living near Callaway and Rosedale Highway. Our photographer shot this video of crews working to fix what may have caused the problem. You can see it appears to be a down power line, but we haven't heard exactly what caused the outage.
It's 5:03 now. A Bakersfield family marked a somber anniversary. 1 year ago yesterday, Corey Powers was mysteriously gunned down. His family held a vigil last night at the scene of the crime. 17's Kern was there and spoke with the family.
Corey Powers worked at a local Walmart and Target for decades. His family and former coworkers say he touched so many people in this community. Last night, they all gathered to celebrate his life.
I want him to look down and know that we all love him and we're going to fight for justice for him.
It's been 1 year since Corey Powers was shot and killed while fixing his car on the side of the road in broad daylight. To this day, no answers.
The person that did this to Corey, it's not like I want him to die. I want to see him. I want to try to forgive him.
No known shooter.
He didn't have an enemy.
And no known motive.
And someone with no love in their heart took the love of my heart.
The family says it's been radio silence from law enforcement.
They won't tell me anything. They don't know anything, so I feel like he's been forgotten.
On the anniversary of his death, friends, family, and former coworkers gathered at Buena Vista and Harris Roads in Southwest Bakersfield, the very spot he was gunned down.
I need all you guys to be my strength because this is the hardest thing I've ever been through.
Now, this is what I have left of him right here. These are my share of his remains.
But as many tears were shed, they still found reason to laugh.
That was Corey's joke. He put all of our candles out.
They're still holding out hope that they'll get answers one day.
We're celebrating his life. but we all really miss him. And hopefully I'm going to get answers soon.
If you have any information on the murder of Corey Powers, you're urged to call Bakersfield Police at 327-7111. I'm Karen Hua, 17 News.
Crews recovered another body from the so-called killer Kern. Yesterday, Kern County Search and Rescue pulled the body out of the water upriver from Highway 178 near Boral Road, that is near Boral Canyon hydroelectric plant. The body is that of a male, but the age and identification will come from the coroner. Right now, there are at least 3 other recovery efforts happening. A Paramount man who disappeared in Tulare County, an 11-year-old girl who fell into the river 2 weeks ago near Keysville, and a 19-year-old man who fell in with his cousin on Father's Day, also in Keysville. Crews recovered the body of his cousin last week. KCSO wants to remind you that although the Kern may look like a nice place to beat the heat, it can quickly turn deadly. Remember to stay out and stay alive.
A Northern California county is using going back to the basics to alert people about fire danger. Nevada County fire officials plan to fly actual red flags to notify people of red flag warnings. 42 of these flags will fly across the county. The National Weather Service issues red flag warnings on days with high temperatures, low humidity, strong winds, all of which lead to high risk for fires.
Well, our hope is it tells the public that fires can be started much easier. Once a fire is started on a red flag warning day, the suppression efforts can be a lot more challenging for those firefighters on the ground.
The flags won't be the only part of the warning system. Fire officials will also use some social media and other more modern forms of messaging to get the word out.
Back to today, the National Retail Federation says Americans will spend nearly $7 billion on picnics and cookouts, not to mention all the fireworks and other festivities.
Man, there's a lot of that happening right here around town. 17's Tabitha Mills joining us in our newsroom this morning with a breakdown of where you can catch a fireworks show and tips to make sure that your family stays safe this Independence Day. Good morning, Tab.
Yeah, that's right. Good morning, Maddie and Alex. Happy 4th of July to you and to everyone at home. From parades to fireworks, there's plenty happening around town today to keep you busy, and one of the big shows is at the park at Riverwalk. It kicks off at 6 tonight. There will be live performances and much more fun. The fireworks start at around 9. Just be ready for the traffic, though. Bakersfield Police will be posted at intersections and closing some roads starting at 6. That was yesterday, so they're closed. Some of those roads are closed this morning. From Callaway Drive to Jewetta Avenue, BPD will control traffic at the intersections along Stockdale Highway. Starting at 8:30, they will close westbound traffic on Stockdale at Callaway, eastbound traffic on Stockdale at Jewetta, and northbound traffic on Buena Vista Road at Deer Peak Drive. If you're celebrating at home with fireworks of your own, the Bakersfield Fire Department says you should always have an adult supervise children, read all directions, keep a water source nearby, use common sense, and only ignite legal, safe and sane, labeled and sealed fireworks outdoors, away from people, homes, and dry grass. BFD also says you should never alter or reignite damaged fireworks, throw fireworks at people or any animals, or carry fireworks in your pocket. And if you're thinking about setting off illegal fireworks, think twice. The Kern County Fire Department and Sheriff's Office are teaming up for the You Light It, We Ride It campaign. Crews will be out in full force issuing fines and stopping illegal firework use. Fireworks fines start at $1,500 and go up $500 per additional violation. If you live in Lake Isabella, the Kern River Valley, Fraser Park, or the Tehachapi areas, all fireworks, including state-approved, safe and sane fireworks, are not permitted for use. And on the same note, the Bakersfield Police Department says please do not call 911 to report illegal fireworks. Leave that number for emergencies only. Instead, call 868-6070, the illegal fireworks hotline for both the city and the county. Emergency dispatchers, thank you in advance. And again, that number is 868-6070. So you can still buy fireworks this morning, Maddie and Alex, if you're interested. And permitted firework use for this 4th of July officially kicks off at 9 this morning and wraps up at 12:30 tomorrow morning. Back to you two.
All right. It's going to be a great day out there. Just make sure it's safe. Thanks so much, Tabitha. And by the way, we want to mention Bakersfield police also reminding people not to fire guns into the air to celebrate the 4th of July. BPD says sometimes stray bullets fired into the sky wind up hitting innocent bystanders. Officers will be patrolling areas of the city that saw illegal gun and fireworks activity last year. They'll also be relying on the shot spotter technology to help pinpoint where gunfire is coming from. Police said the system's programmed to distinguish between gunfire and fireworks. Welcome back at 5:20. This 4th of July, having fun should be a top priority, but so should staying safe and healthy. Sarah Dolliff has the story.
At fireworks stands across the country, business is, well, booming.
I plan on having a big show once the sun goes down.
And while the focus at South Carolina's Area 51 is on getting the biggest bang for your buck, it's also on safety.
You got to have safety, and you got to have somebody there to help you. And don't drink. That's the whole key.
More than 9,000 people were hurt in fireworks-related accidents last year. Dr. J.R. Young sees injuries including cuts, burns, and permanent disfiguration.
Of children that have injuries to the eye with fireworks, 30% of those lead to blindness, permanent blindness.
Pets are also at risk. Fireworks can injure or spook them. So experts advise pet parents to update all tags and microchips. Even better, put them in an escape-proof room. And if barbecuing, keep them away from hot grills and sharp skewers. For the millions of us who'll be cooking out, the USDA has this message to prevent foodborne illness.
Clean, separate, cook, and chill.
Dr. Mindy Brashears encourages people to wash their hands, keep uncooked meat separate from other food, cook meat to the proper temperature, and chill leftovers within an hour.
The temperature is higher, and our bacteria like to grow faster at those higher temperatures.
From firing up the grill to fireworks, simple tips for a safe 4th of July.
Welcome back here at 525. Walmart stores in New Mexico are making a big change in regard to gun sales. People will no longer be able to buy guns there. The state recently passed 2 new gun laws. One of them would require any person buying a gun to go through a background check, whether they purchased a gun from a store, a neighbor, or a friend. But Walmart says the retailer is not currently equipped to or designed to conduct background checks for private party transfers under the new law. The New Mexico stores will officially stop selling firearms on July 22nd. In the wake of 2 deadly crashes, Boeing is paying up. The company is giving $100 million to the families and communities of the 346 people who were killed aboard its 737 MAX jets. The money is going to local nonprofits, which will distribute the funds to support education for victims' children and living expenses for families. Boeing grounded the planes worldwide since March. 2 crashes within 6 months under similar conditions led investigators to believe a problem with the plane's software system is to blame. Boeing is facing several lawsuits over the 737 MAX crashes. The company says families that accept money will not have to give up their rights to pursue legal action.